Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ball Not Court Podcast host Cortez Paul.
Along with my co-host Paul Mack.
I want to thank you folks for tuning in today and listening to the show. Basically, we cover basketball, football, NCAA, or anything that's related to current events with a humorous twist to it, at least. You can follow the podcast at BIOC Podcast at X or Twitter. We're also on Instagram at the same name, BIOC Podcast. You go to our YouTube channel, that's also BIOC Podcast. Our Facebook page is Balls Not Court Podcast. So if you could please just give us a like, shout, comment on any of those, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Balls Not Court Podcast. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Ball Not Court Podcast. Cortez Paul is here. The usual Paul Mack. And CJ joined us. Talk to my boy Paul Mack. I know he's feeling some type of way. Congrats, pal.
Here.
How do you feel, man? New York Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Feeling good, bro. I'm just, long time coming. I remember 1999 very well. And, first closeout game at MSG in a really long time. And I just like the fact that, no excuses, bro. They didn't have their best guy. But at the end of the day, I feel like the better team won. So it is what it is. But here we are, man. Bring on the Pacers. I am my birthday's on Tuesday, so I'll be chilling, and then I'll be ready Wednesday night to reignite the Knicks-Pacers playoff rivalry. Lot of emotions going through me right now. Just the Reggie Miller PTSD. But we're ready, bro. We're ready. I'm feeling good. Pacers had a long break, so I'm just hoping that we can just ride the momentum. And man, here we go. WWE called this like 2 years ago when they had Halliburton and Jalen Brunson cut a little promo. So, everything is wrestling, bro. Everything is wrestling.
It was written, as they like to say, a great prophet from New York. So, yeah.
The script was written years ago.
There it is. CJ, how's it going, man? Basketball, tuning in. How you feeling, my guy?
Pretty good, man. I got bad juju these playoffs, so I got to – everybody telling me, hey, man, look, you need to go against the other team. I need you to root for Boston. I'm like, all right. And I think my bad juju got Denver out of here. They got blown out today, so I think my bad juju rubbed off on them.
Yeah, man. Aaron Gordon toughed it out, huh? What's wrong with that guy?
Yeah.
That man was one of the few. He was one of the few bright spots on a parlay I had today with his one leg. He had 11 rebounds, bro.
Man, I'm sitting here. I had a sore hamstring. I'm not doing anything. That dude got 8 rebounds in the first half. What? Me and CJ know Aaron Gordon too well, so props to him for toughing it out, man. So hey, let's get into it, man. So we'll go with the first conference. We'll go with the Eastern Conference. So we'll start with the Indiana Pacers versus the New York Knicks. So pretty much how they got here, at least how the Pacers got here. Pacers versus Bucks. That was in the 4-1 series. And then the Pacers versus the Cavs, 4-1. And then now they're here playing against the Knicks. And the Knicks was in a dogfight with the Pistons. That went 6 games, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it went 6 games. And then they got Boston there in 6 games as well, too. So
Knicks some road dogs, bro. Some road dogs.
Some road warriors. So let's start with our New York resident, Knicks aficionado, big fan over here representing the middle, Mr. P. Mac. What's some of your top storylines coming out of this series?
It's nice to like go into a series where the Knicks were 2-1 in the regular season. You have to hear all that noise of like, oh, Boston beat them 4-0 in the regular season. Whatever, shit don't matter, bro. We were 2-1 against them. You know, two of the one win on the road, one win at home. But it's also a different Indiana team, and we haven't played them since February. And obviously they've been a totally different team since the All-Star break. They're just Rick Carlisle. I mean, they're one of those teams where like when they're clicking, they look like one of the best teams in the NBA. But when they're controlling the pace, when they're doing all the things that they're supposed to do, when Tyrese Halliburton is distributing the ball, when he's hitting shots, they run a pretty deep rotation for a playoff team. So they run probably like 8-9 guys, which is pretty rare for a playoff scenario. But it's a team that I feel like I would much rather go against them than Cleveland. Like if obviously once again Indiana got kind of lucky and they got a dinged up Cleveland team. I would have loved to see how that series unfolded if Darius Garland would have played the first 2 games. If Mobley and them didn't miss the 3rd game, Donovan Mitchell wasn't beat up the last couple games. But you could see like Darius Garland was, even when he was out there, like I know we were talking like our last show, like dude's got to play, but you can tell like he wasn't like what I mean, like he wasn't 100%. I don't even know if he was 75%. But the Pacers are. It's gonna be tough, man. Like it's. I think after game 4, I think like the Knicks were like, it was weird because the Knicks were like the favored to go to the Eastern Conference, like to the championship out of the East. I don't know how much that's changed now with what Indiana, they completely dismantled Cleveland. But I'm ready for a good one. I know with this team, like. We're never out of a game unless you're beating us by 50. So we're gonna play. We're gonna push. I mean, they had to beg to get the starters out of this game. We were up by 40, and Tibbs still had the starters out there. So I mean, I know they're gonna play to the end. They got some time to rest. I know Josh Hart got busted in the eye, but other than that, like we're pretty healthy compared to last year, which is really really nice. So it'd be nice to have a few days off. We get the first 2 games at home, which is huge. So like they don't have to travel anywhere; they can just stay in New York for these 4 or 5 days. Yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. Like this is NBA playoffs to me, man. Like just the rekindling of a rivalry that reminds me of when I was a kid. Like that's what I love. Like I know that we want new rivalries and like all this stuff and all this talent. Like they're going to be around for a long time, but like there are just some teams, man, where it's just better when teams are playing each other and. For me, it's just Knicks Pacers, and then obviously like the Jalen Brunson Halliburton rivalries. That's gonna be going for a long time to come. So I'm excited, man. Like I'm more excited about obviously my team's in it, but like this East matchup, I feel like is way more exciting to me than the Western Conference matchup.
Okay, CJ, what's some of your storylines coming out of this series of the Pacers and the Knicks?
For the Pacers. I mean, it has to be Miles Turner. Once again, showing up when it matters. They've been trying to trade him for 20 years now. Seems like every year he's on the block. But whenever they need him to show up in the big moments, he's always there. Of course, you got Hallie and Nembhard. Them two just running wild, like they're just taking turns, doing their thing. It's going to be interesting, man, to see if the Knicks can keep up with that pace. I feel like the Knicks are more like a grounded out team because of Tibbs. Can they slow them down, like slow the Pacers down just enough to make it, like a 105, 110 type game? Or is it going to be in like the 125, 130 range that, kind of fits Indiana better?
Okay. I got quite a few storylines, man. Let's start off with the first one. So since 2017 and 2019 was the last time we had a repeating or defending champion that repeat. So Toronto Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics. We're gonna have a new champion again.
Yes.
Love to see it, dude.
And that's exciting, man. Like I've been on the bandwagon of screaming for parity so that Paul get to feel this feeling, man. He get to feel this feeling, man, that potentially he could get one. And so can the OKC fans and the Minnesota Timberwolves fans, the Indiana Pacers fans. This is a surreal feeling, man, because one of these teams is going to be a new NBA champion. So that storyline itself is just freaking cool, man. So from a fan perspective, who hasn't got a ring yet, this is very, very, very cool to just kind of see these stories unfold, man. So that was going to add to this drama of the NBA playoffs and what's going forward in these conference finals. So super excited for that to happen. Something else that's another storyline for me is that there's a lot of heat that came telling Thibodeau way, saying, hey, he got the first round. He ain't going to be a coach for the Knicks anymore. Hey, he got him back.
Now he's the mayor.
Yeah, now he's the mayor. He's got him back.
You got a key to the city.
And they're currently favored right now. So like a lot of things right now is, Tom got this team playing very well, believing in one another. So that's a good storyline that I like to follow. So I'm just happy for this. Sometimes you just got to shut people up, go out there and let the results speak for themselves. And, hey, Tom Thibodeau let his team. Props to him and the New York Knicks for getting back there. So to me as well, too, is this New York Knicks attack has been very balanced throughout the playoffs. Even in Game 6, Brunson had 23 points. But that Friday night, OG had 23. Bridges has 22. Cat has 21. And throughout the postseason, they have 5 players that's averaging above 13 points. So that's very well balanced for the New York Knicks. And they're getting it from all players. And even Deuce McBride is contributing. Mitchell Robinson is contributing in some sort of fashion. So this all-around performance by the New York Knicks has been nothing but short impressive. And they're really just handling business. So this is a cool storyline to see that, hey, a lot of these pieces that I know Tom Thibodeau play a lot of minutes in, but they're taking advantage of the opportunity, man. So it's just pretty cool to see that storyline kind of unfold. So, yeah, man. So I'm just really excited to see where this particular matchup is going to go. So, CJ, let me go with you, man. How will you play? How should the Pacers? You kind of touched on this, but elaborate on it. How should the Pacers play against the Knicks?
I think they just got to run. I mean, they're not that much bigger up front than the Knicks. I mean, you got Cat versus Miles, and then, OG, he has some pretty good size. So I think they got to run, but at the same time, they kind of can slow it down to play in the half court as well because they have Siakam at the 4, and he's a complete mismatch unless they bring in unless the Knicks bring in Mitch and go Mitch and Cat 4 or 5. But now you're kind of playing into the Pacers' hands because now they can run with Miles and Siakam, and it's kind of hard for Cat and Mitch to keep up with that for the entire game. So for me, I think slow it down, and if they bring the big boys in and kind of like match that half-court style, then that's when they pick back up the pace. It's really going to be a chess game, I think, for the entire series.
Yeah, you're right, man. Just kind of going into that because this is a phrase from Kenny Atkinson. He's saying the duration of their intensity, talking about the Indiana Pacers. How long they can go. They press full court. They run the ball consistently all game. Yeah. They never stop. It's hard to do. They give a ton of credit in extreme ball pressure. So it really fitting how they fit the name Indiana Pacers, and it's fitting to the way they play.
They run.
They get up and down. So, Paul, your thoughts on what the Knicks should do to beat, or how should they game plan, and how should they play against the Pacers?
I mean, it's a whole different offensive attack. Like CJ was saying, like, Indiana likes to force turnovers, get out and run. They're going to push. So it's just kind of like you did against Boston, right? You got to take what the defense gives you. Don't force anything that's not there. Don't give them an opportunity to get into the open court, because that's when they're the most dangerous. And like, they're a team unlike Boston. Like, they get on the fast break. Like, they're looking to get to the rim. They're not looking to stop and pull up for a three.
That's true.
And all their guys can pass. Like, they're all willing to pass. Like, they're a very unselfish team. But like, the thing is just like, this is where you need, Mikal Bridges and his mid range. You can't have OG going 1 for 12. Like, everyone's got to show up. I do think this series does allow Towns to potentially get back to kind of stretching the floor a little bit, because I feel like with Boston that was tough. He wasn't even looking to shoot, nor did he shoot all that well, but he didn't shoot a ton of threes. But I think being matched up with Miles Turner, he could keep him away from the basket, and OG and Miles are good rebounders. So like that frees up a little bit. So I expect a little bit more perimeter game from Towns. But I just think you have to just play what they give you, and like, try to keep it in the low hundreds, because if you get in that 130 range, like, you're playing the wrong game. I just don't think we have the offensive firepower to deal with that. I mean, the one game we lost to the Pacers this year, the final score was 132 to 121. So that just shows you, like, if you get into that kind of game, that's not what you want to do. Just be aggressive, right? Like Brunson's got to go at Halliburton. Like, he's got to go at him, and I'm sure it'll be the same on the other end. And you saw in that Boston series, like, if you kind of go at Brunson, take him out of the game, it kind of makes things tough. But he is the floor general, so like, he will control the pace as much as he possibly can. Josh Hart can get a little erratic at times. He likes to kind of push a little bit of pace, but I just think that just everyone needs to just slow down. And I feel like with how our rotation is playing, with the way that Deuce McBride has been playing off the bench, that kind of spells you with like TJ McConnell and these guys. But it's just about pace, man. Like, that's, their name's the Pacers, and they like to control the pace, and that's what they're going to do. Like, it's nice to game plan to where, like, they're not going to shoot 63 pointers in a game. Like, it's a whole different defensive scheme. But having played them 3 times already, having the time off in between these games, like, I trust Tibbs, like, with his adjustments and the way that he game plans. Like, I think it's going to be, MSG. You think MSG was crazy for that game 6, bro? MSG is going to be crazy for this game 1. Like, I hope Reggie Miller gets the call.
He is.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, he's been confirmed.
He's going to be there. So it's just like, that's the whole deal. Like, I remember this year whenever we beat them in MSG, and Josh Hart was talking shit to him a little bit, but just the whole environment, bro. Like, seeing all these old Knicks and all these fans and the celebrity row, and it's just so good for basketball. Like, basketball's regardless of what the regular season ratings were, like, everybody talking about how they were kind of in a slump this year as far as regular season games, but these playoffs have been great. Like, there have been some blowouts, like probably more than we thought we would see, but when the games are competitive, like, they're all good. Like, we had a lot of series stretch out. Obviously, Indiana steamrolled through Cleveland, but even some of the series that didn't extend that far were still competitive. Like, Orlando played Boston really well. The Knicks Pistons, Knicks Celtics, Minnesota Lakers. Like, everything was.
The Clippers and the Nuggets was fantastic.
Yeah,
too.
I'm saying Clippers Nuggets was fantastic. Like, obviously, like, OKC, that was just a mismatch their first round, but we all saw that coming. But like, these posts, I'm watching I am glued to every one of these games. Like, and like, because of the Knicks now, like, I'm spoiled. Like, I watched this Nuggets game today. They were down like 25 in the third quarter. I'm like, oh, they can come back.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess, Jamal Murray didn't miss the team plane or something. I don't know what's going on. He didn't show
Making
up.
TikToks.
Yeah, bro. He didn't show up. But like, you just can't count anybody out. And seeing the Thunder mature, like, it's all such cool storylines, man. Like, it's these 4 teams that are left. Like, it's so good, and I'm excited for the next 2 weeks of basketball. But yeah, man, I'm ready.
Yeah, man. I was gonna go back to your point. Some of the Pacers, man, they're leading the playoffs with a field goal percentage. They're shooting at 50%. So, I mean, something that the Knicks probably we really focus on because their defense really done kicked it up. And I know the games 3 through 5, they allow 129 points per possession. And that's still crazy because, like it's one of those games that, just with the Knicks, they're pretty much just so heavy oriented around Brunson and the pick and roll. And that's crazy. They didn't really run pick and roll that much last series. Now, I don't know why. I don't know if that's by design, but you think they'll do that more in this upcoming series, which they should do because that Brunson and Cat pick and roll is nasty. And they hadn't really done that much. But back to the point where the Celtics and the Knicks, even in that third quarter of the last game in Game 6, they scored 51 points on 69 possessions, which is pretty much 0.74 points during that. A point, like it's basically below a point. And that is the fourth worst offensive game by any team. So the Knicks kind of locked in and really shut them down.
Yeah.
And the thing that is about the Knicks too, even in games 1 and 2, when they was down, they locked in defensively and really, kind of put Boston in the cold spurt.
It turned into some ugly basketball.
Right. So can they do that?
The Celtics playing some ugly basketball when they actually dialed it in.
Right. Yeah. So can they do that against the Pacers too? And if you can get the Pacers in a spell like that, and the Knicks go on a run, and you got Jalen Brunson, who's the most clutch player in the NBA, hey, it bodes well for the Knicks, man. It really bodes well for the Knicks because listen, at some point in time, there's going to be a run that either you're just going to go cold and whatnot. But the Knicks has took advantage in those first 2 games on the road and really took advantage of that. So that shout out to like the Knicks moxie for doing that. And I really feel like with, some of the pieces that they have and Mitch Robinson coming back. So it's just been super fun to watch. So Paul, who's your S factor? And you can give it for each team, but start with the Pacers first, and then who's your S factor for the Knicks?
For the Pacers, I feel like it's got to be Tyrese Halliburton. Like I feel like he's been riding this high ever since he was the most overrated player in the league, voted by a anonymous poll, and it's just I feel like he's the one that's going to have the most to prove. I feel like he's the one who, when the lights are shining, he wants the moment, like playoffs in Madison Square Garden. You're the one out there in WWE holding a steel chair, calling out Jalen Brunson. Like this is all like, this is your time now. This is your team. This is the trajectory you guys are on. You coming from last year, winning the NBA Cup to making a little playoff run last year. All eyes are on him, man. Like Cena said, they've been trying to kind of figure out Miles Turner. Like who knows how much longer he'll be around. It's Tyrese Halliburton city, man. He got the key to the city. He is the pace of that team. He controls the pace of that team. So he's got to come out, and you're looking at, with the 4 teams that are left, Indiana is the second best team behind OKC in assist turnover ratio. So that's going to play into a lot. They get a lot of assists. They don't turn the ball over a whole lot, and just the amount of possessions they're going to get per game because they're constantly pushing. It's going to be a Tyrese Halliburton situation to where, like, if he's on the floor, he's going to have the ball in his hands. We already know he can hit big shots if he needs to. So for me, it's got to be Halliburton, just to kind of shut everybody up about the whole overrated thing, because I feel like that's just a weird thing to have over your head. So he's got to prove it.
All right, shout out to that. CJ, who is your S factor for both teams? You can start with the Pacers and
Pacers. It got to be Siakam for the Pacers. Like, he pretty much dictates everything. Like, if he's going to dominate in the post, then that forces the Knicks to play bigger. And now, he can still do his thing against Cat. You still have a good matchup. It'll be a favorable matchup. So I think he's the X factor for the Pacers. And for the Knicks, is Mikal Bridges going to show up? Because if he shows up offensively, it's going to be a different ballgame. Whether the Pacers can adjust to him or not, he's the X factor. They don't have as many wing defenders as Boston has. I mean, yeah, as Boston or the Knicks. I mean, I'm sorry, or the Pacers. So can you put somebody on him and then have somebody to guard OG and Jason Hart? So I'm gonna go with Bridges on that one.
Okay. See, for the Knicks, I would say like 100% OG Anunoby. Like you saw the difference in the Boston series, like in the games where Anunoby no-showed, like it blown out, like it wasn't even close.
Made a difference, yeah.
Like so when he's active and he's able, and like that's where this series kind of favors him a little bit because he likes to kind of get to the rim and transition to kind of get going, and like that's where you can kind of get him going a little bit, get him some layups, get him some fast breaks. He can maybe get some steals, opens up the 3-point line. But like if he's going to not show up and you're only going to get 6-8 points out of him, like that's tough.
Yeah,
because Miles Bridges. Or I mean, Mikal Bridges, he can create his own shot. Like Mikal Bridges is a guy where you saw him get in the lane against Boston. Like he can dominate the mid range. He can shoot the three. So I'm not really worried about Mikal. It's just a matter of like what his matchup's going to be. But I feel like the Knicks like to kind of play the match, and you saw with Boston they play to the matchups. So it's like if I have OG on the floor. Like he's just got to be aggressive, and he can't be afraid to shoot. He's got to knock down shots, and just play defense. Like even defensively, like I would play him at the 4 and put him on Siakam. He's big and physical. They don't got to worry about the 3-point shooting of Boston, so it's not a switch and get out and get a hand up situation. So it's a much more like traditional like man on man. Just body up your guy, and I feel like those kind of things are what keep OG in the game. I think it's hard for OG when he's spending a majority of the game just kind of like standing around and then just chasing a guy at the 3-point line and contesting threes. It's a tough way for him to get his rhythm. But I feel like if he gets going early, that's where the Knicks are going to thrive because his energy and the plays that he makes in transition are the ones that kind of keep him going. Him and Josh Hart both, like those two guys are big energy guys. And just got to keep it close because we have the best closer in the league on our team. So all I ask is that you keep it respectable and let Brunson do his thing. When you need a big shot, Brunson come and make a big shot. But I'm gonna need every bit of OG, no nights off. This is why we paid you that money. That's why we kept you around. And for Mikal Bridges, fuck them draft picks, bro. We did.
Got you. Good stuff, man. As far as my S factors, I feel like me personally, the later you get into a playoff run, you really got to lean heavily on your role players. So for me, I'm going to start with the Pacers. I think Andrew Nembhard is someone to look at. He's been having a fantastic postseason. Dude's been averaging about 14 points a game, 6 assists, and he's shooting the ball 50% from the 3-point line on 4.5 attempts. He also lead the teams on top with his top minus plus on defense. So he's got a defense plus minus at 1.8. So he's been fantastic on that end. So Nembhard making big shots. He's stepping into his role, moving the ball, and he's guarding some of the best players too. So you want to see how he's going to match up against Brunson and see what can he do with Brunson in that matchup. But Nembhard's been hitting some big shots. On the other side, let's look at Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson has missed the first 58 games of the season, and he didn't make his season debut till February 28. So, in this particular series, the Knicks were 30 points per possession better with Robinson on the floor with a plus 18.1 than they were off the floor with a minus 11.9. So you can see he make huge difference on defense and offense. I know everybody messing with his free throw. It goes more than that. But Mitchell Robinson has been a problem. And you want to see how he's going to match up against some of their bigs. And he's like to spread the floor. So Mitchell Robinson probably going to be on the island a little bit. So how are you going to adjust to that? So Mitchell Robinson is quick enough to go on the perimeter and guard them. But that's going to be the tell of the story right there. If Mitchell Robinson gives fits to, a Siakam or a Miles Turner out there in the perimeter, New York has got a good fortune on that. And so I'm just interested to see how those two pieces are going to play, because I feel like deeper into the playoffs, a role player somewhere along the line is going to win you a game. Let it be an Andrew Nimhart or Mitchell Robinson with defensive play, or Deuce McBride, TJ McConnell. One of these role players is either going to have Paul cheering like crazy or have him pulling his hair out. It's going to be a damn role player. We've seen his stories written all the time. Robert Horry is one of them. Make you just want to beat your head against the wall sometimes. For us, me and CJ, as Magic fans, that damn Derek Fisher shot. just
he shot it from Compton.
Yes.
And went in like, come on, bro.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, so we just know a role player is going to make or break you. And so I feel one of those two guys are going to be to kind of keep an eye on for sure.
It's gonna be like one of those things too, like we always talk about, like with Tibbs, right? Or just the coaches in general, Rick Carlisle versus Tom Thibodeau, like just trying to outcoach the other one, because like obviously the Knicks have had success with the two big lineup, and obviously against Indiana, like that can hurt you tremendously. But like if there is an Achilles heel for the Pacers, it is rebounding. Like there is opportunities for rebounds versus Indiana. I mean, right now in the postseason, just rebound percentage wise, like the Knicks are about 50% on rebounds. Pacers are about 47%. So they do give up a lot of rebounds. And then offensive rebounds specifically, the Knicks have 32% of offensive rebounds, and the Pacers are dead last in the postseason in offensive rebounds at 21%. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to crash the boards. So like you might see some success with the double big lineup, but like if you're not hitting shots or you're turning the ball over, you're setting yourself up for trouble. So like it's a double-edged sword to see what lineup's going to work. But Mitch earned it, man. Mitch has earned this opportunity. And even in those last couple games against Boston, man, he was knocking down his free throws. Like it's a lot of, it's going to be a chess match, man. Cause like, I don't even really know how to describe the Knicks style. Like obviously with the Pacers, like, they play fast, they push, they press. I don't even know what the Knicks style is, bro. Knicks style is just like Knicks style is just like black Air Force Ones,
right?
And just like we're here, bro. Like we're outside, and we're gonna just whatever we got to do, we're gonna do it. Yeah. And it's just a matter of whose style is gonna win you this series.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I want to say I did see a couple of tweets, and not to throw. Listen, Orlando is not there, but it's cool to get recognized as a fan of the team. So there was a few Celtics fans like, hey, man, and it's not undermined what the Knicks did to the Celtics. They handled it like they're supposed to. But there was a tweet saying, like, listen, man, you got to give credit to Orlando Magic, man. They play physical defense. They're big. They wear you down. And they really probably just really took it to Boston. And it's a correlation with this, because you see last year with the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell kind of left a little bit limping. Jared Allen was like sore. So to get Orlando Magic the first round draw, and that's why I try to tell people, like, oh yeah, the Celtics won. They won in 5, but 3 of those games, and CJ can tell you this, and Paul can tell you this, were very physical and very close. So listen, man. So it is a tough draw, and the defending champions got beat up a little bit, and then they got another physical team with the Knicks, and it was just a wrap, man. So we talked about this beginning of the show that I embrace this style of basketball. Now you see everybody complaining about Oklahoma City Thunder. They play rough. The Houston Rockets play rough. No, man, this is defense. This is defense, man. I know Adam Silver. Yeah, Adam Silver went a decade ago where he kind of catered more to the offense. And now that we're getting back to the defense side of the ball, this is fun to see. There weren't no easy buckets here. I'm not trying to tell you take somebody's head off. I'm not trying to tell you spear somebody from making a layup, but I do want you to earn it.
Yeah.
We all growing up playing league. We all growing up playing basketball. We know how it was. Can't just score in there easy.
Back in our day, you shot threes because you were scared to go to the lane.
Exactly.
Now you just shoot threes because they're worth more than twos.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the point. Like, yeah, come on, man. A real hooper, let's meet me at the rim. See how it is. Body contact. Yeah, let's see how it is. But no, listen, man. Congrats to the Knicks. Congrats to the Pacers. This series is going to be epic, man. I can't wait to see how it entails. And I'm finna ask the question, and let's go with CJ first. Who wins the series and how many games?
Oh, man. My juju has been off. I'm going to go Pacers in 5.
Pacers in 5.
I'm going to go Pacers in 5.
Hey, Paul, you heard him. He says Juju's been off.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take all the.
I'm
All
gonna
the
go Pacers in 5, man. I think they come in and just run them out the gate.
Okay.
If they can still one from them and if they can still game one, I think it'll be 5.
Gotcha. I go first, Paul. I know that your team is in the finals, so I go next. This one is going to be fun to watch. I do think this is going to go 7 games. Very physical, very going back and forth series, up and down. But I feel like the Knicks get this in 7. I feel like this is going to be a competitive series. It's going to figure it out, and them damn New York Knicks will go into the NBA Finals. And I'm going to be beating my head against the wall just hearing about Knicks fans at the Kia Center talking about they make it to the NBA Finals. But I got them in 7, beating the Pacers. And we'll see what happens, man. I feel like Bronson is too much. That Cat and Bronson pick and roll is going to be lethal in this series more than it was last series. Both of these teams is kind of playing healthy, and I've been kind of adamant about the Pacers' journey to get here. You know, Dame Lillard went down in the first round, and then the second round, Jason Tatum went down. Well, no, not Jason. I'm sorry. And the Cavs. Let me get that right. The Cavs. Donovan Mitchell was battling injuries. Darius Garland had something with his toe.
Evan Mobley.
Yeah, he didn't play like the first 2 or 3 games, right?
Yeah. So, for that most part, at least the Knicks, when it comes to the Knicks, Tatum went down and the Knicks was up.
They're battle tested for the playoffs.
Yeah. So they're a little bit more battle tested. So Indiana, are they battle tested? We'll see. But I give them enough credit that it's going to go 7 games. But listen, except minus Paul, because Paul's a cool Knicks fan. This ain't directed towards him. The other Knicks fans, I hope y'all lose.
Sure.
I hope y'all lose. Hey, listen, if they win, I'm testing Paul. Congratulations. I'm testing 3 other people. George Seganot.
3.
I'm testing Johnny. Hey, Johnny Rivera. I'm testing John Orr. I'm testing those people and say, congratulations. Your team moved on. But to the rest of you Knicks fans,
I know one Knicks fan. I got one Knicks fan lined up already.
Oh yeah, listen. With the rest of you Knicks fans,
yeah.
But to my brother right here, Paul, if they win, I'm sending that man a congratulations text. Everybody else, kick rocks.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
I got one Knicks fan already on.
Go ahead, Paul. The floor is yours.
I've been waiting a long time for this, man, and I think it's just styles, right? Like, I think the NBA is starting to shift. I think there's a shift happening, and similar with Boston, like live by the 3, die by the 3. They died by the 3-pointer in that series versus the Knicks, and
yes, they did.
with the Pacers, like, is that pace sustainable for like a long series? Like, if this stretches 6-7 games, like, can they play like that for that long? Where like the Knicks style is just beat them up, drag them out. Like, we're gonna just grind this out however we have to. And I think that's the difference. I think if it goes 6 or 7, like, the Pacers they're gonna feel it. So just for that alone, like, I'm gonna go Knicks. I'm gonna go Knicks in 7. Just because, like, I just feel like the styles, like, if the Pacers are gonna win this series, they got to close it out quick, fast, and early. The longer it drags out, I think it's going to benefit the Knicks. And the Knicks having home court, getting the extra home game in Game 7 if it gets to that. But this is the Pope's on our side. He's a big Villanova guy. You know what I mean? He dropped the blessings on Brunson, Hart, and Bridges. And I'm ready for my trademark Knicks in 7.
Oh.
Drop it right there. Boom. I'm ready. Knicks in 7. Brunson, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And just, I'm excited, bro. I can't even tell you.
You know what's funny? I know y'all going to laugh at this. I got my new glasses in because I had scratched my glasses at Typhoon Lagoon. So my new glasses, the brand of them is Timberland. So
hell yeah, baby. See, it's a sign. It's a sign.
I got some Timberland glasses. They look. I'm like, ooh, these look nice. I'm like, okay, so I got some.
Knicks win. I'm gonna finally break out. I haven't worn them yet. I got the Wu-Tang dunks back there. I'm gonna bust those out. Stomp on somebody's head.
Hey,
I feel bad for the Pacers fans if they win in New York, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel bad for anybody.
The way they drugged that Boston fan across the street was crazy.
Yeah. Well, you see the Pacers fan, right? They
don't trash back.
Yeah.
Listen,
that's just a troll, though. He deserves that. Like, he knows what he's doing.
But listen, though. Listen, you don't salt.
He got to fight back, though. He got to do something.
No, listen. At that point, talking crap, you already moved. I ain't throwing. Listen, I done seen so many people come to Amway, bro, and Kia Center, and I taught my stuff, but I ain't throwing nothing at them. One, I got a good thing going for me. I like making
New York's different, bro.
I'm not going to jail over a sports team. Sorry.
New York's different.
No, I'm gonna top my drum, and what benefits me, I'm 5'11", 270 pounds. So go ahead and run up, but think twice. But I'm a lover, not a fighter. But these hands can be swung if they want to. But
his pretty face, his pretty face is made for them TV appearances. He just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. So, all right, let's move on to the next series, and let's touch bases on the Western Conference. So, so this one here, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The T-Wolves beat the Lakers and the Warriors 4-1. And then the Oklahoma City beat the whoever they played. Oh yeah, the Grizzlies. That's how much we just forgot about that series.
Yeah. It was rough. It was rough from Jump Street.
Yeah. That's me joking. I know it, but I'm not gonna say it. They just got stumped. That's the first series was a bored nation. So the second series they played the Nuggets and that went 7. That was the game 7 today. Aaron Gordon tried to be Superman and plowed straight through a hamstring injury. Jamal Murray was nowhere to be found, and Nikola Jokic did what he could to get him, and it was just too much OKC. And so they're here playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, top storyline for you this series, Paul. What's your top storyline in regard?
Well, number one is I no longer look like a jackass when I said that Minnesota was my pick to go to the finals out of the West.
I mean, you both, brother.
My pick's still alive, baby. I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
It's still alive.
I'm a genius. So, but yeah, I mean, Minnesota, they're just one of those teams that they've come alive late in the season. It's really interesting. Like, I don't think you can say there was a loser in the Towns Julius Randle trade.
No,
and both teams are in the conference finals.
Yeah.
So, Rudy Gobert's playing well. Some legacy games out of Rudy Gobert. Mm-hmm. I mean, Timberwolves are a big physical team, and they're a little bit older than the Thunder. Obviously, Thunder like this is all foreign territory for them, and I think it's just like Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna need like vintage Anthony Edwards, right? Like I'm not gonna need don't settle for the 3. Be aggressive. Shea's gonna go at you. You got to go at Shea. You got to just accept that matchup. Like these are the matchups we dream about. Is the 2 best guys on the team lining up against each other, and just have a ball at it, bro. But like from what I've seen, and I was impressed today because like I've come out and said like with the Thunder, I feel like a weakness for them is if they get behind, they struggle from behind. But like I don't know how much of that was just Denver not showing up today because Denver was up 11 early. And I was like, oh, this doesn't look good. But there was no offense outside of Christian Brown and Nikola Jokic. Like there was really nothing happening. It was rough. And then their bench got going, and Caruso's making plays. But it's just I feel like this is a matchup that kind of favors the physicality of Minnesota because like Chet Holmgren's not the most physical guy. Lou Dort's undersized. So if you're going to play Lou Dort at the 4, like him on Julius Randle is a tough matchup. Like he's going to get in foul trouble. He got in some foul trouble today, just trying to guard Aaron Gordon. The guard matchup, obviously, it's just going to be a matter of who your point guard is. Obviously, if Shea plays point guard or not, or whatever it is. But either way, Edwards got to go where he goes. Like, that's just got to be your matchup. But you got to just put him on that matchup of like, hey, this is your guy. Doesn't matter. But I'm just excited for the physicality, man. Like Denver at times when Denver got physical with OKC, like you saw some struggles. They just couldn't maintain it. They got beat up. Like this is one of those things where as the series went on, the Nuggets just got banged up, and you could tell. Aaron Gordon was hurt. Westbrook was beat up. Jamal Murray had a tummy ache. Like it was a whole lot of just stuff going on, and OKC is just younger. Like this doesn't bother them. Like they gotta have the energy night in, night out. So if you're the Timberwolves, you just gotta take advantage. Like if there's an area where like they're vulnerable, similar to the Pacers, like you can get them on the glass. So like I expect Randall, Gobert, Naz Reid, like these big physical guys to kind of like impose their will down low. Obviously Hartenstein is probably like the biggest, toughest guy they have, but that's it. So if you can get him in foul trouble, get him off the court. Because like the Randall Holmgren matchup's almost a wash. Like they're almost the same guy minus the physicality. Like they're gonna play outside in, and then like obviously Holmgren runs the floor really well, but there's not a matchup aside from like Shea. Because like obviously with Mike Conley out there, he might be like a defensive liability, but that's sort of the only liability I really see. Like Minnesota has length, has physicality. They can shoot the 3 if they need to. I don't want to see them shoot the 3 that much, but I feel like they could dominate this game like inside out. But you never know, man, because OKC is going to try to force turnovers, get out and run, and do the things that young teams do. So this is another one, man. This is one that I feel like the longer it stretches out, the more it's going to favor OKC. So I want to see this kind of stay tight, but we'll wait and see.
All right, CJ, what's your storyline for this series?
Can Rudy guard the pick and roll? Can he hang in there and do what he did against the Lakers when they were pretty much hunting him every time down the court? I mean, to me,
fucking Luka's favorite play, bro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was looking for him. Oh yeah, yeah. Come on. And then for OKC, do you have enough bodies to stop Ant-Man? I mean, you got Lou Dort, you got I don't know, is Caruso? I haven't even really felt like he's been on the floor a lot, but
he played a lot today.
Caruso,
he started the second half. He started the second half for OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you can throw Caruso at him, you can throw Dort at him.
Jalen Williams. Both
So
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, they got bodies to kind of slow him down, but can Ant-Man rise to the occasion? Because if he no-shows, I don't think this is going to be pretty serious.
Gotcha. Some of my storylines is big game hunting from Anthony Edwards. He took down some big names: Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic,
the legend killer, bro. He's the legend killer.
Luka Doncic, and I mean Steph Curry did not play, but Steph Curry is part of the team that they beat. But he only played one game, so you can't really say Steph Curry. So
you want Wardell to come back and save y'all?
Yeah. So the list is impressive. I don't know if it's this impressive list. If he's got this impressive list, he mean legendary takedown, or how many baby mamas he got. I don't know, but it's just the compression of the list. I'm just trying to figure out what's more impressive for Anthony Edwards, But now, hey, listen, amidst all the baby mama drama, Anthony Edwards is hooping. He is playing very well. So, it's just a lot of stories coming out with him. But, with that, I just have been impressed with, a lot of this in telling this young man to be the face of the league. It's a lot of pressure. This man just want to have fun. He want to enjoy life. Enjoying a little too much sometimes, but, is it fair that we put this on him? Not really, but, your talent supersedes this where you could be the face of the league. You got the charisma, you got the ability, you can play ball, and you say what's on your mind. So that kind of bodes well for you being the face of the league there. But the names that you took down so far has been none but short and impressive. So shout out to Anthony Edwards on that. On the other side, Oklahoma City, Chet Holmgren. He's from Minnesota. He's from Minneapolis. So this is a homecoming for him.
Oh, yeah, mini haha.
Yeah, mini haha. So this was the second round. This was the second draft pick in the 2022 draft from Gonzaga. So this is a bit of a homecoming for him. So I wonder if it's going to be a little bit more juice for Chet. What we're going to see out of Chet? It's going to be nervous because he's going back home, or if he's going to be like, oh, I'm home, man. So let's hoop, walk down the road, go to his favorite food spot. He see the people. I mean, his family's still there. So guess what? He got to go to a hotel. He go sleep in his own bed back at the crib. So Chet Holmgren's going to be very comfortable. And the question is that going to translate to the court? So we're going to see that. That's kind of my storylines there. So I'm excited.
Chet has to just go to the rack once, and then he ain't going to go there no more. That's it. That's it. This is gonna be one of those games where you're gonna need every bit of that stretchability, because like he's gonna have to pull Gobert, he's gonna have to pull Naz Reid, and like obviously if he gets Naz Reid in there, like if you can get Gobert in foul trouble, you get Naz Reid out there. Like he has the size on Naz Reid. I don't know if he has the strength. That is a skinny boy. For being from Minnesota, he's a skinny boy. Those are usually those big corn-fed
Midwest,
white boys,
exactly.
Man. But
what they fed him?
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those two, like Anthony Edwards, with how competitive he can be. Like you're going up against the MVP. Like, are you gonna let the MVP outshine you? And I don't think he's the kind of guy that's gonna allow that to happen. Like I think that there's a chip on his shoulder, and he's gonna feel like he has to outplay SGA. And like you give me Anthony Edwards with a chip on his shoulder, like I don't know if there's another guy I put my chips up against either, but it's gonna be, he's gonna be head hunting, he's gonna be doing what he's got to do, and just the size I think is gonna cause problems. Like you saw Denver try to run a zone against OKC, and they were just hitting little mid-range jumpers. Jalen Williams was getting in the lane wherever he wanted to. SGA was hitting some shots in the lane, and then it just works its way out. They start getting a rhythm, hitting threes, but I just don't see them crashing boards and doing the things that they were doing against Denver. Just because, like, team rebounding, like they're a great Ant-Man can rebound. You know what I mean? Alexander Walker can rebound. Like, who's their small forward? Jaden McDaniels can rebound. Like they got length, and all their guys can rebound. So it's like I'm not concerned in that department. It's just like you just got to worry about with the amount of bigs that Minnesota has. Like tempo and pace is going to be key. You can't turn the ball over against Minnesota. I mean against OKC, they're going to make you pay every single time. They want to get out and run. They want to push. So you have to play just a lot of half court basketball. And I think that's where Denver was most like successful, was when they were in the half court, and there were a lot of dribble handoffs, a lot of screen and rolls, cutting to the basket. I think that's your best shot. So if I'm Minnesota, like I'm feeling pretty good matchup wise, especially just them coming off of a 7-game banger against the Nuggets. Like that's a tough series, bro. That I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how healthy they seem. Like mentally, that's exhausting. And I know like they won by 40 today, so like their guys pretty much didn't play the entire fourth quarter. But it's still the fact that you just went 7, and now you have to go. And luckily you're going to be at home, so that's always good. So again, similar situation, like you don't got to go anywhere. They're going to stay in OKC for the next few days, so that's huge for rest. But it's hard for me to look at the trajectory of Minnesota from how they started to where they are now, and like think that they're not thinking like championship or bust right now.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. You got to be on that bandwagon of time to get the title. Opportunity knocks, and all these four teams. I know, hey, you complain about the Pav, and this team wasn't healthy, this team was here. Well, guess what? In 5 years from now, I mean, only people that actually watch is going to remember that
if you take the 4 best guys from these 4 teams, you took Brunson, Halliburton, Ant-Man, and Shea, and you held the title up above the ring, like, as much of a Brunson guy as I am, like, I don't know if I could bet against Anthony Edwards in that situation to go up there and try to get it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, is just like, he's going to try to take it just because of the dog that he is. And like, that's the part that, like, if he breaks that mold, and it's like, all right, I'm going to play the way I have to play to get my team to the finals and not settle. Like, that's a scary matchup for anybody that I wouldn't want to be a part of.
Yeah, 100%, man. All right. We can't really answer this, but I'm gonna go with CJ. He touched a little bit on this. How do the Oklahoma City Thunder play against the Timberwolves?
Oh, that's I think they just gotta play big, Chet, big up front, put your big boy pants on, and just get dirty. I mean, I feel like if they try to, play finesse and play up tempo and get cute about it, Minnesota's just gonna punch them in the mouth. You know what I mean? So, it's like now they got to walk down that dark alley.
Yeah.
They're waiting on them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just got to make it dirty, do what they got to do.
I posed that same question to you, Paul, but for the T-Wolves.
I just think they have to just impose their will, use their size, use their physicality. I don't see a matchup on the floor aside from whoever's covering, Shea, like where there's like a true mismatch for OKC. Like Hardenstein's only going to score off offensive rebounds and lobs. Like, he's not going to really hurt you off. He's basically Rudy Gobert. They're the same guy, except for like Gobert, can't guard the pick and roll. I feel like Hardenstein can guard the pick and roll, but if it's Holmgren versus Randall, Jalen Williams might have the only mismatch for OKC. Like, I just feel like he's the guy that has to show up for them. Like, he's going to have Jaden McDaniels on him. That's got to be something that he takes advantage of. But if you're Minnesota, like, you got to play your bigs, rotate your bigs, keep your bigs as fresh as you can. Like, obviously, you got Gobert, Randall, Naz Reid. Just rotate them in and out, keep them as fresh as you can. Protect the rim. Because if you saw, like, today, like, OKC obliterated Denver in the paint. Denver was like, we're going to let you get in the paint. What are you going to do about it? But they have no rim protection.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon was on one leg, and they were just hounding Jokic. Nothing you could do about it. You know what I mean? So it's just like with three bigs, like, you could rotate them in and out, and you have pretty good coverage throughout the game. So I just think you have to run with the bigs and just not turn the ball over. If they turn the ball over and OKC gets out in transition, they're in big trouble. So just take care of the ball. You have a veteran point guard in Mike Conley. Let him do his thing, and just play at your pace, play the way you've been playing, dominate the half court, and I think they have a chance.
Gotcha. I got something. I did some research on this. I'm like, I want to look this up and figure out what ways should both of these teams play against each other. Oddly enough, both of these teams have scored very well in a restricted area. For the Thunder, 8.7 points per game in a restricted area. Best restricted area differential in the playoffs. That includes a 54-32 advantage in Game 7 win against the Nuggets just not too long ago. Flip side, the Wolves have the second best restricted area differential in the playoffs, right behind the OKC Thunder. Have now scored their opponents by 7.4 points per basket at the basket. So this comes to, if you want to watch this series and kind of pinpoint who won this game, let's look at who got points in the restricted area.
Yeah,
and see how many points it is right here. Because both of these teams are neck and neck. And for someone, and listen, we all have been screaming about, there's too many threes. There's too many threes. And we even got on Ant-Man about there's too many threes. On the playoffs, he's kind of been playing a little bit differently.
Yeah.
He's been going to the rim. And so the rest of his team. So I'm telling you, from that standpoint, from how these teams are going to match up, keep an eye on points in the paint battle. That's going to tell you a lot about the series. And that's going to tell you who's going to probably win. Because I'm telling you, if you look at that and this series is over 2 weeks from now, that points in the battle, that points in the paint battle, it's going to be something to point at or what get one of these teams to the NBA Finals.
But I think a stat of that though can be kind of skewed, right? Because like OKC, they played Memphis in the first round. They don't really got rim protection.
Mm-hmm.
Then they, obviously they played Denver. Aside from Jokic, not a lot of rim protection.
Right.
Minnesota, they just got through Golden State. Not a lot of rim protection.
Not at all.
And then they're, in the first round they went up against the Lakers. Not a lot of bigs. You know what I mean? So it's like both of these teams have kind of had a road to get here where like the paint's available. It's a 3-point shooting league, right. So no one looks at points in the paint. And you just have two well-coached teams to where, like, they understand the matchup. Like, if I could dominate you in the paint, I'm going to go to the paint.
Which brings me to my next point, and I'm glad you said that, Paul, because I knew you was going to bring that up. These are the 2 best teams in the league that defend at the rim.
Well, there you go.
Oh, this would be.
See? They're the 2 biggest.
They're
the 2 biggest.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's the data. So now guess what? We're going to be watching this from a standpoint to be like, okay, both of these teams in the first 2 rounds that they play against didn't have any spotty rim protection that they went against. Now you get a Rudy Gobert. Now you get a Chet Holmgren. I know we've been picking on his weight. He's skinny. But you get Isaiah Hartenstein. Julius Randle is a competent defender. So Nas Reed's a competent defender. Now we got rim protection here. So one of these stats over here I just said 8.7 and 7.4. I want to watch.
That's the difference in a game. That's the difference in a game right there.
I want to watch that because that's why I say, and I'm glad you brought that up, Paul, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, what this is telling me, what this data is telling me, someone's going to be exposed here, and someone's going to start shooting a lot of threes, and it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if Minnesota shoot a lot of threes, and they miss these long rebounds,
yep.
OKC get on the break, and guess what they do very well?
Out to the races.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So that's why I wanted to see both of y'all give y'all that data and see if y'all pick up what I was saying.
That's the thing too. I feel like if there was a team out of these 2, I feel like Minnesota would be the first one to revert to the 3-pointer.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that they will revert to the 3-pointer. But then again, if they get in that half court game, as y'all mentioned, then I feel like Minnesota really got a good chance of kind of eating OKC alive.
Yeah.
If they get to the rim and get the points at the bucket, and Anthony Edwards is super aggressive as he should be, then I feel like that information is going to tell us a lot. So that's why I'm watching from that standpoint. I'm sitting here looking up on NBA.com like, that's interesting. Because we know who they play, and they're number 1 and 2 in this category. And then they got a bunch of size that can elect that. So that's going
to fuck analytics, bro. The big man's back, baby.
Yes, sir.
They don't got to shoot 63s, bro. Just win points in the paint, win rebounding. You'll be all right.
So,
don't tell Jeff Woodman that because he won't make a move.
Yeah, true. But so now here's the thing I was trying to pin on that because I knew what OKC would do. What would Minnesota do? I knew OKC if Minnesota reverses to threes and they miss them, they can run. What does Minnesota do? That's the thing I'm trying to pinpoint. I don't know what they would do.
I don't know.
I think they stay true to themselves.
They would just try to shoot their way out of it.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards just keep on shooting, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's something that what is gonna make them successful. I'm gonna go back and look at that and be like, okay, that's what they did. Then I'm gonna be like, oh, that's an aha moment because I figure what OKC's gonna do. I just don't know what Minnesota's gonna do, and that's where I feel like how do you game plan against that?
Yeah.
So,
The moment you can't get to the rim, like the moment they eliminate anything around the rim, you got to worry about what Minnesota's going to do, because based off of the regular season, Anthony Edwards is not afraid to shoot a 3-pointer.
Yeah, and
he's
then
gonna get them things up. Yeah.
And then do you make them one-dimensional? And then Anthony Edwards started taking shots and going crazy. How I guess I'm trying to figure out how would they game plan? Would they panic? And then will it be Anthony Edwards just taking a lot of shots?
Yeah, just a whole lot of hero ball, yeah.
Right. So,
or like Julius Randle, just crazy ISOs at the wing. I've seen many years of that. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
yeah. So I'm interested in seeing what Chris Finch gonna do about that, because that's a question I couldn't answer when I was going through this data. So.
And I think too, like we talk about X factors. I think like how you're talking about like the role players for like the Pacers and stuff. Like I think Minnesota's role players are going to be huge. I think like Dante DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, like these guys are they're going to play big minutes just because of the pace. So they're going to be in there a lot, and it's just like they got to make the most out of their minutes. So, Alex Caruso, we saw in this series with Denver, like he is a feisty guy. He's gonna get in people's faces. He's gonna draw technical fouls and get people all riled up. He was in Aaron Gordon's back pocket the whole series. I thought they were going to fight like Game 3. I was like, man, this guy is all over Aaron Gordon, and it's just that's why you sign those guys, man. Those 3-and-D, just scrappy guys. Like he'll get you 8 to 10 points, a couple rebounds, a couple of assists, but like while he's out there, bro, he's just causing chaos, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alex Caruso is just a menace.
Oh, 110%, man.
Like you can throw him. He'll guard Anthony Edwards if he has to. I don't know if he'll stop him, but he'll try to get in his head a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
like I said, they got the bodies to throw at Ant-Man for sure.
Yeah, gotcha. CJ, who's your S factor for either team?
I think it's going to come down to Julius Randle for the T-Wolves. Like Paul was saying, if they stop Ant-Man, will Randle revert back to the Knicks Randle that we know, that was just straight ISO, put my head down, I'm going to run into a brick wall, turnovers and all that, hero ball. And for OKC, X Factor, it's got to be Chet. He's kind of the second banana. Are the lights going to be too bright for him, or is playing at home going to be just what he needs to, to kind of put his name on the map for sure. So, don't really have anybody that can guard him, once he gets cooking. So he's definitely an X factor for them.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that, CJ, because to my point, I kind of had the S factor. Is it going to be Julius Randle aggressiveness versus Chet Holmgren's length? Because we know if he drives that, listen, and Paul can tell you this, watching Julius Randle, when he put his heads down and go, that he's a dog, man. There's not too many people that Julius Randle sit there and fights and go, and he's tough, man. But he's also 6'9".
Chet's athletic though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Chet's athletic, and
Randle's liable to pick up. Randle's liable to get 2 or 3 offensive fouls just trying to go through Chet's chest.
Yeah,
exactly. And the refs aren't just going to let Randle just abuse Chet. You know what I mean? They're not going to let that happen.
Right, and that's what I'm figuring out.
Trying to keep it clean.
And how that's going to match up, because we know we can see Julius Randle be a dog and go at people, and Chet's kind of small. We already said that. So I just wonder how that's going to play out. Paul, who you got for your S factor for? Let's say for the
I think for OKC, I'll give you. I already gave you kind of my Timberwolves one. So I think for OKC, man, I think this is going to be a big Jalen Williams series. I think Jalen Williams is like, as much as like Chet was drafted to kind of be second fiddle with SGA. I think Jalen Williams is a guy where, like, you saw it today, like just stuffs the stat sheet. He crashes the boards. He almost handles the ball more than SGA sometimes. He's bringing it up the court. He's controlling the offense. He was dominating the mid-range game today. I think he's just a guy, like, he's the one guy who probably has the most favorable matchup on the court when he's out there, because he's either going to be like Jaden McDaniels or like Alexander Walker. Like he should be able to have his cake and eat it at the same time. Like, there's no one I think that can that can slow him down. So like I think this is just gonna be a big Jalen Williams series, man. If he shows up and he gets you 18, 6 and 6, like I think like you're gonna be in a good spot. But like he has to just make sure, like I don't need him to get 30. Like that's SGA. SGA can get you all the points, but like he's got to get 18 to 20, and just control the glass, control the assists. Like 6-7 assists, 6-7 rebounds. Like I think if like he's controlling that aspect essentially from the 2 guard spot / small forward spot, like I think you're gonna be in a good spot.
Okay, good stuff. All right, and let's pick a winner. And since this series or team don't apply to you, Paul, go first.
Hey man, I picked at the beginning of the year. I'm riding with the Timberwolves. I'm gonna take Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota in 6.
Gotcha.
I think Minnesota's physicality is gonna cause problems. I just think like again, this is still like OKC is still peaking way too early, man. Like they shouldn't be here this early. Like I still think they're like a season or 2 away from like really like setting the league on fire. And like I think this is one of those things where like teams get hot at the right time, they start clicking at the right time, and it's just hard to go against those teams. So I'm gonna ride with Ant-Man and the Timberwolves in 6.
Gotcha. CJ, who you got and how many games and why?
Let me get OKC in 4. I think Chet and J-Dub, they come out, really set the tone like game 1, game 2. And then that's when you see SGA kind of sneak into the series and really take over and take them all home.
Gotcha. I got Minnesota in 6. That was my pick at the beginning of the year as well, to go all the way and win it all. So I'm kind of just didn't think I was going to get there, but I'm probably just going to go ahead and stick with that. But no, I just literally just decided that I think we went through a transition period where we was playing small ball, and now that you see a lot of teams going back to that kind of 2 big man traditional style, New York Knicks is doing it. You saw even the Celtics was doing it. So like, there's a lot of like teams reverting back to like this 2-man style of like just having a traditional center and a power forward, which is a beautiful thing for the game. So, but to me, too much physicality. I feel like Minnesota get them. And I got it, the Minnesota winning in 6. So, all right. Well, that should conclude it for us, man. We got anything else we want to add, man? Some over-unders. There's going to be a bunch of Pacer-Knicks fight possibly, or you see a lot of Spike Lee. You got Baller Trades. He's representing. He's been showing that he's been a Knicks fan since he was a little boy. I saw the picture with him with Laundry Field. So that whole little story. Timothy Chalamet has been kind of cool, man.
The only 2 guys like on the Pacers that would start a fight is probably Miles Turner and Benedict Mathurin. Those are the only 2 guys that I feel like that would do anything. The rest of those guys are kind of soft. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. And then, Ant-Man going back and forth with it. Lou Dirt's going to be physical on him. So that one's going to be a little fun matchup.
Oh, yeah, that's a little chippy. Yep.
Yeah, man. So
I need Ant to keep going so we can get more of these like Netflix documentaries with him just being a fucking cold ass man.
Oh yeah, we can ask his 9 baby mamas about that.
I need like Team USA documentary Anthony Edwards right now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all listening. That man a hooper and everything. So I'm messing with his whole stuff, man. But he can hoop, man. So all right, well, hey, make sure y'all stay tuned with me and Paul during the week. NBA playoffs have been in full gear, full effect. Man, we even covered the NFL schedule drop. We'll cover that in the future. We'll get some.
Hey, real quick, we didn't cover the draft lottery. What if Nico Harrison ends up being a genius, and this all works out for the Dallas Mavericks?
Oh, them winning it worked out. Yeah, it's perfect. Nico can go outside. He's all right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of the how rigged it is, of the conspiracy theories, whatever. Man got rid of Luka, and now you're getting Cooper Flag.
Clean
so,
do y'all trade a pick or no?
No.
If he think he was getting death threats before,
no. Cooper Flag has potential to like. He's really
better
good.
than. Yeah, he'll be better.
Man, listen, Listen.
Nico has no room to mess up.
I would trade a pick for Giannis.
No.
I would trade a pick for Giannis.
No.
Giannis, AD, Kyrie Irving, get a ring. I would trade a pick. That's just me, but I don't think they'll do it because I don't think you. Listen, as you say that, CJ, I don't think Cooper Flag get there as good as Giannis. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but like you got to worry about. Then you're worried about all this salary cap nonsense again, and then like all this, like,
very true.
All the money. Like you get Cooper, you get Cooper Flag for the cheap right now. Like, you're getting Cooper Flag for the cheap, and then it's a matter of how many guys want to come play with Cooper Flag. Yeah, and then that's where
me personally, and this is me just saying, I think Cooper Flag is going to be eventually a number 2 on the championship team. I don't think he's going to be the guy leading to a championship. He's going to be a number 2.
Oh yeah, I mean he's built. He's built that.
He's going to be a number 2. I don't see him being a number 1 guy in the championship.
Yeah, it's a guard dominated league. Like it's one of those.
I think he's fantastic as a player.
Yeah,
I just don't think he'll be the lead guy.
Kyrie is going to be huge for him. Mm-hmm. Like to start his career off, having Kyrie Irving, and also having Anthony Davis if he stays healthy. That's going to be really big for Cooper Flag. But like
absolutely,
Dallas is like a perfect situation for him to drop into. Like, he gets to kind of come in. He's surrounded by some all-stars. Mm-hmm. He doesn't got to be the guy right away. I mean, they were a playing team as beat up and broken as they were this year. Like, don't trade that pick.
I know Dallas fans hear me say that, but man, I would consider trading that pick for Giannis. No, I would. All right, let's wrap it up here because Giannis probably gonna be in Miami or Orlando because he already talking about he like Florida City, so we'll see where he going up.
There's that no state tax. No state tax.
We good in the O. We don't need that headache.
Yeah. We don't have shooting as it is, but if we had to trade for him, we got to trade for him.
I see something. Someone said that send both Wagner's and like somebody else to Milwaukee for.
I will be a Dallas fan if that happens.
You crazy.
The fandom ends. The fandom ends if we trade for Giannis.
It's tough too because like this is as good as Giannis is going to be. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this is what you're getting with Giannis. Like someone like Franz is just getting going. Like we don't even know what his ceiling is yet. Yeah. So like to let that go would suck.
Yeah. I'm not trading this guy.
Hey, Boogie.
Not trading them guy. And sure as hell not trading this guy either.
Oh, hell no.
Not happening. My 2 guys know in the O for a minute.
After this postseason, man, people know about Paulo now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Good. Hey, well, what's beautiful now, my TikTok with the Boston fans kind of calmed down a little bit. So it's been beautiful to kind of show.
They got no choice. They got nothing better to do.
Yeah. Come join me in Cancun. Hey, Tito Tez is right here. I'll buy you some drinks. Come over to Cancun.
Cortez don't care about baseball, so y'all can go watch the Red Sox.
Come to Cancun, man. You know, hey, listen, the Knicks and the Pacers and the T-Wolves and the Thunder are chilling. They still got stuff. They got bigger fish to fry. Everybody else, come join us in Club Cancun, man. We over here chilling on roster. We got VIP. We over here just enjoying life, baby. So come over here, man. Get some routes. Paul, you're not invited. Enjoy yourself, man. But me and CJ, hey, my boy got me. We got some tequila sunrise over there. I got some.
I still got business to handle, bro. I'm chilling. Cancun ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, come to Club Cancun, baby. Everybody else, go to Club Cancun. Yeah. But hey, all the other 4 teams can run their mouth. Us,
it's all inclusive.
Hey, we over here saying kumbaya. We roasting marshmallows. Come join us, man. We over here chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Got some fish on the grill. Listen, hey, who's invited to the barbecue? Everybody else except the 4 teams that's going there.
I'm just excited. I'm just excited for now that Boston's out. You know, all the comments and all the engagement that we got about that video about how they're going to break that team up. And boy, when we were right, y'all are going to come at us like, yeah, no, it's over, bro.
And I got receipts, so once it happens, I'm responding.
It's pinned on our TikTok. You can go look. You can go look at it. It's pinned. It's up there.
And I'm right there waiting for y'all to eat crow. Come talk to me, baby. Come talk to me. And I'm on the CP. You see the Twitter name. Come at me, man. All right, let's close the podcast. So we'll be back at it, man. So follow the pod, and then matter of fact, before I get into all that, man, Paul, tell me.
We're gonna have a new segment, Ball Stradamus, with Cortez Paul. He's gonna come in here with his crystal ball. He's gonna tell you your team's future. Watch,
You know,
it's coming.
ball.
It's coming. But yeah, man, I'm on X at _Paul_Mac, and I'm on Instagram at thePaulMac520.
CJ.
On Twitter at CJ1911.
Absolutely. You can find me, as I mentioned before, in the minor CP. Come talk to me, Celtics fans. I'm here all night. Especially I ain't got to go to work tomorrow, so I'm here all night. So let's go. You can
If y'all just need a friend, he's here for you.
Yeah, come talk to me, man. Listen, I'm in Club Cancun, man. The music going on. I just saw Bruno Mars just pass by me, bro. Gave me a high five, talking about, oh yeah, I think he root for the Miami Heat, but he just said what's up to me. So now it's all good. Club Cancun's popping around here, man. Oh man, beautiful women everywhere. So yeah, pop up. Anyways,
you might see the Baltimore Orioles. My Orioles, they making an early appearance in Cancun.
This guy, absolutely Orioles. So listen, Club Cancun is popping, man. That's gonna be a new segment, Club Cancun. Who's all going to Club Cancun?
Yeah.
All right, so the podcast page you get at BLC Podcast. You go on Twitter, and that's what we call it nowadays. Get it there. YouTube BLC Podcast, TikTok BLC Podcast, Instagram BLC Podcast, Facebook. You just type in Balls on the Court Podcast. Give us a like, comment, shout there. Engagement's been great. Gonna definitely do some more of these Facebook's video, because Facebook don't take down my videos like YouTube does. So we'll probably do some of those because Facebook don't say anything, but YouTube does. So and Ashley and me and CJ, I'm trying to get him started with a playback. We're gonna start posting the playback and the Facebook video, so that way we can start getting the playback popping. So we'll get that popping in there as well. So I'm
gonna figure out playback. I'm gonna be on there every single one of these Knicks games, bro. If you want to just come get lit, we're gonna get lit every day, every night.
Yeah, we can
absolutely. Yeah, man. So we'll get Paul to log in, get the social and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, Facebook, it is okay for us to stream the game because Facebook hasn't said anything yet. So.
Okay.
But YouTube is being bro.
Yeah,
it ain't
YouTube,
happening. But
they shut
Facebook's but listen, but also Facebook's where we're getting a lot of hits at too. So that's why I say mission we need to do Facebook, share that playback link, and then boom, we'll be in there. But anyways, podcast page, get us on there. We're also on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, iHeart, Spreaker, Windows, where you heard it before. And also you can get us on radio.fm. We play on there every Thursday, so get the podcast there. Appreciate the internet radio station playing us. And the engagement we've been having, man, we've been popping off on this. So I'm waiting for Paul to get the clips ready because I'm pretty sure we're going to have some hot takes and get some comments on that. So it's going to be nice. But from that standpoint, we'll close this bad boy. Speaking for CJ Hill, Paul Mack, this is Cortez Paul, Balls on the Court Podcast, BOC. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.